We're back to the Total Education Celebrity Show. I'm the host of the show, Neil Haley. Again, go to the website, TotalTutor.net, to find out more information. Well, just keep the celebrities coming, and I really am excited, and I want to thank, again, always working with these fantastic publicists. And when I got a text message last week after it was the craziest week, 3rd year anniversary of radio, and I found out I was going to have this guy on the show, I was just blown away. I said, oh, wow. And when I told my wife, she said, oh, my gosh, he's the good-looking one on this show. So I want to welcome the program from Extreme Makeover Home Edition, John Littlefield. John, thanks for calling.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
So you have to.
I'm excited.
You'll have to tell people that's what my wife said. You're the good-looking one on the show. So.
That's what my mother says too. Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of go right specifically how you ended up there, because we all have stories. I mean, it was good.
Well, it's in 9/11. That's how it happened. I went to, I'm from Pennsylvania. I went to Temple University for graduate school in Philly. And I'm trained as an actor. And then I did the whole New York thing, and I was on Off-Broadway, and I did a lot of movies and TV. And then I got a soap opera, so I was on a soap opera for years. And but I paid my way through college, and then I went to a conservatory for theater, and then graduate school, all swinging a hammer, building sets and building houses and repairing apartments and just doing stuff like that. Because it's stuff my dad taught me, because my parents weren't, dabbled in real estate, and they were too cheap to hire anybody, so they hired me. And so I had to learn all that stuff. So, which was an invaluable lesson, really, especially as an actor, because you always have to have a contingency plan. And so I was doing very well. I was on the soap opera, and then after the soap, because the soap canceled, I did a play. I was in New York. I was doing an off-Broadway play. And my agent told me in New York, he said, I want you to go to L.A. And I said, well, I really don't want to go to L.A. And because I don't know how to really drive, and things like that. So I'm like, I got to drive a car. There's no public transportation there. There's no subways. I don't want to go there. Why? And, the people are weird, and I just don't want to go. But he's like, okay, but you're going to go anyway. And my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, she was already out here. So I was like, okay, well, she's out here anyway. And so that was August of 2001. And then 30 days later, the most horrid day in America happened. And that was September 11th.
Yes.
And so all of a sudden, New York shuts down. The whole city shuts down. And all the actors that in New York, they just moved to Los Angeles. It was like the Grapes of Wrath.
Oh, wow.
And so my agent, they released all New York talent. I got this phone call. They're like, yeah, we're no longer representing you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, now we're releasing all New York talent. I'm like, well, I was here before. And what are you talking about? Well, I see you. You're out. I'm like, okay. So what did I do? Because I didn't have an agent, and I didn't know anybody in this town. I'm lost. And so what I did was I just started painting houses. I needed to keep the lights on.
Yes.
And I was able to still keep, I lost my theatrical agent, but I was able to keep my commercial agent. And at that time, my commercial agent also was starting a hosting department within the agency. And so they were using their talent that was already in their stable. And so I was, the agent who was starting the hosting department wanted me to be a host. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about hosting. What the hell are you talking about? He said, no, you just talk. I'm like, yeah, okay, easier for you to say. And so, and then I'm painting houses, and it just so happened I painted the right house. I painted one of the producers of the Discovery Channel stuff. And he was like, you need your own show. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever you say, Tom. And, yeah, you were my agent. And he's like, no, seriously, you'd be a wonderful host. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever you say. Well, about 2 months later, I'm hosting a show on the Discovery Channel. And who knew? I was pretty good at it. So once you're at the Discovery Channel, you're like an indentured servant. You even though you're not, even if that show that you are on is canceled or whatever, you're still under contract for other shows at the Discovery Channel, which is wonderful. I love the Discovery Channel for that one of the many reasons, but for that reason as well. And so I did what did I do? I did the Dude Room, and then I did Top Gear, and then I did Home Blitz, and then I did, gosh, I did so many pilots, I can't even remember. And then my contract was up in about 6 months, and beautiful and talented, and God rest her soul, Denise Cramsey from Allentown, PA. Denise Cramsey was the executive producer of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and she kind of made a deal with Discovery Channel like a baseball player, and I kind of was traded. And and then I found myself in everyone's living room, end of season 3 of Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I've done 7 seasons. We're on our 10th season now. But it was funny because I was still able to continue my love of acting. So, while I was doing Extreme Makeover, I did 3 Anthony Hopkins movies. I did Beowulf, I did Fracture, I did Slipstream. I was able to do Desperate Housewives, Dexter, Castle.
Wow.
Yeah, I just been, just hustling. And I also, I do a lot of voiceover work. So I'm also the voice of Sears. I do all the campaigns for Sears, which I'm very blessed to do that because they're a wonderful sponsor of Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Let's see, I'm narrator for the Discovery Channel, which is good. Yeah, I'm a busy guy.
Well, you sound very busy, but I guess again, look at it. You're painting someone's house, so that teaches somebody when you live in L.A. If you just try to kind of connect with the right people, doing any type of job, if you're a talent, you're going to get picked up. So that was the right place, right time, wasn't it?
Right place, right time. And but also though, and it's funny because even when I'm on Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and they're very, very good to us. But in between seasons, I get bored, and I'm painting houses, and people are like, hey, aren't you that guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy. And they're like, you actually do this? I'm like, yeah, I do. I like keeping the lights on, and I like staying busy, and I like working. I've been working since I did the math the other day. I've been working since I was 9 years old. I had a paper route when I was 9.
Oh wow!
So, yeah. So I've been hustling for a long time.
So what I
wouldn't have it any other way. What's that?
What I find so cool about this is again the stories of how celebrities make it. I mean, where you get your big break, and especially on this Total Education celebrity show, what we try to do is educate people on how celebrities, either they have a foundation or something, how they make it. And what a strange story. I wouldn't have expected that story. I just expect, I was in the right place and I tried out for it and they said, you're perfect, you're hired. No, it didn't. Right. You had to go on Discovery Channel. So can you tell...
It took me 15 years to make it overnight.
So, and then I was reading your Hollywood other stuff. You've done some other movies as well during this time as well. You were mentioning some of some stuff is more recognizable than others. So you kept busy, which is great. I mean, on other shows, that doesn't happen, right? You're usually stuck, but the way this show works, you can still work, which is good.
And also... It's funny because in show business we as talent have a tendency to be a little demanding. I guess is the best way to describe it. And it's kind of like I learned a great lesson from my mother. My mother never swears ever.
Okay.
But when she does, she means business. So I never asked for anything. I'm always cool. I'm always like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no, I don't need green M&Ms in my trailer. I'm good. You don't have the trailer that's the size of my contract? Yeah, that's all right. I'll use that one. I don't care. I'm very cool that way. Very easy that way. So when I do ask for things, they're like, holy crap, Johnny's asking for something. We better give it to him. So I choose my battles very carefully. And also, they are just a wonderful group of people to work with. And if they can make it work, they will make it work. And don't get me wrong, I've had to wake up the family, demo the house, fly out to Los Angeles from Tennessee for a day, do ADR and do pickups for a movie, fly back that night, and then continue building the house the next day.
Wow.
So if they can make it work, they'll make it work. But yeah, it's work. It's work. But you know what? It's show business, and it's 10% talent, 90% forward brush man.
So
yeah, you know what I mean. So you better believe in your brushes, and it's work. It's show business. It's a business. It's work. I just happen to be very, very blessed to do for a living what I absolutely love to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one point I want to make is the show. The show, you do such great things for people. I mean, that's got to be something that motivates you too. Every time. Okay, I'm doing some acting. Oh, but I'm going to go back out here, and it's going to be cold, and I'm going to have to build, and I'm going to really have to have my muscles will be aching and all this stuff. But when you truly give back, this is what that show's all about.
It's a truly I've dedicated my life to a life of service. And I love it. I love serving the show. I love serving the families we help, because we don't just pick them out of a hat. I mean, they are truly remarkable people in their own right, and we honor that every week. My favorite, everybody asks, Johnny, what's your favorite family out of all the millions you've done? And my answer is right away, Jones Family, Mississippi. Mrs. Jones, the greatest lady in the whole wide world. Mrs. Jones raised, in a community of less than 100,000 people, raised over $500,000 for Katrina relief.
Wow.
She's a nurse. She opened her front room of her house as a wholesale nurse shop for all her other nurse people to come and buy wholesale nursing equipment. She opened her garage as a storage unit for winter coats, so everyone in her community, every homeless person in her community would have a winter coat. And with all her extra time, she is very dedicated to the church. And so one day, the reverend of her church called her and said, Mrs. Jones, we need you to sign some paperwork. He goes, okay, I'll do it Sunday, Reverend. He goes, no, I'm in the neighborhood. I'll stop by. She goes, no, please don't do that. Well, it was too late. He had stopped by. And what he saw floored him. Here she is. She raised over $500,000 in Katrina relief, and she was a victim of Katrina herself. Wow. Half of her house was tarped, blue tarps. And they filled the soup pot and the bathtub from a hose through the window. So I'm not even going to go into any details about the toilet not working. And so the Reverend took a picture, wrote us a letter, took a picture. We were there 7 weeks. And we demolished the house. We built her a mansion, built her a store for the nurses. We built her a huge facility for the winter coats and a community center. And it was just absolutely wonderful. We moved the bus. She's floored. Oh, and on top of it, she has a single mom. She makes about 30 G's a year, and she has 5 children, all academic and athletic scholars. Brilliant, beautiful, beautiful kids. And so we moved the bus. She's floored. Everybody's happy. She walks into the house, ignores all the leather furniture, ignores the plasma screen TV, ignores everything, walks over to the kitchen sink, turns on the water, and says, I'll take running water any day.
Oh, wow. And that's what... sorry, John.
No worries, buddy. It's that moment. It's that perfect moment where, we live in a society where we flip out and victimize ourselves because we can't find our car keys. You know what I mean?
It really makes you think, wow, how lucky I am. Even though at the end they get a tremendous house. Wow. I mean, the stories.
But they have a tremendous house. But look at the amazing things she has been able to accomplish in a crappy house. Now look what she can do.
Exactly.
I told her when I said goodbye, I was like, please don't give anything away. She would. She'd give everything away. She's that generous. She's that kind. Yeah.
So I guess, John, that's where I wanted to kind of go at the basis of my show, is a lot of times they talk about their charities and foundations. Being involved with Extreme Makeover Home Edition, you pretty much are a foundation and charity, what you do for families. But are you involved in any charity work as well?
Oh, yeah. My charity of choice is the Greener Diamond. You go to greenerdiamond.com. Where we raise awareness and funds for boy soldiers in Africa, and the awareness of the conflict-free diamonds, and there are conflict-free diamonds out there, not blood diamonds. I've gone to Africa with my charity, and we've raised enough money to irrigate a 100-acre rice field for a village, and it is sustainably run all by ex-boy soldiers in Sierra Leone.
Wow. So last thing I want to talk about, because, again, we're almost running out of time. Really interesting conversation, John, and I guess we'll have to tune in very, very soon to the show, because I know that is that what you're promoting right now, would you say, John? What is the big thing? You're out there doing some radio interviews and different things. What's the big thing you're promoting coming up?
Well, I don't know if you know this, buddy, but I hate to drop a bomb on your show, but we got canceled.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's too expensive. This economy. This economy, nobody can. Everything used to be donated. Well, nobody can really truly donate in a really tough economy.
Oh, that's terrible.
And so ABC was having to it was a struggle, and and we all decided that it probably would be best for the show to cancel, and so they canceled it. That doesn't mean that they still don't promote it, because you can watch all the back episodes on ABC.com. You can still visit all our vendors, wonderful vendors that have helped us through the years at ABC.com. We are. That's why we have season 10 in the can. They're all our holiday specials. And I feel really blessed to have been a part of many of them. It's a really great thing. So to answer your question, I'm all the radio interviews and everything. I'm promoting season 10 of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and I'm also selfishly self-promoting myself.
So this is it. This is the last one. This holiday, the 10th. What the?
You know what? Though, I never say in this business. If I've learned anything, there are no goodbyes in this business. There's only see you laters, and you know that.
Yes.
And I honestly believe that we will be back for specials. We're not going anywhere.
Especially if the ratings are through the roof, because I've been waiting.
Exactly.
So you'd think,
and
why would ABC cancel something so good? You know, that's what I'm saying, John. When I was not seeing you guys on, I said, well, what's going on here? And then I saw you come back, and I'm like, holy cow, they're back. And why only for holiday episodes? And you heard it first on my show, why that is. But I'm sure you could Google it, but a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's plenty of information out there if you Google, us being canceled, because I was floored. I couldn't believe it, but it was a very sad day. But like I said, there's no goodbyes. There's just see you later. So we're not going anywhere. The numbers are huge. The ratings are wonderful, and I would be very surprised. I wouldn't be very surprised when we come back for more specials, because that's. And especially with Hurricane Sandy.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Those, the people in Jones Beach and everywhere. It's just, it's devastating. I don't know if you watched the concert the other night.
Yeah, I did.
It was just those. Like, I have a buddy of mine who lives in what was once the Jersey Shore. What is the name of the town he lives in? It's the town next to Asbury Park, and I'm trying to blank. But anyway, he took a picture, and he's standing, and I've been to his house, and he lives about 5 blocks from the beach. And this is not kidding. I'm not kidding. He took a picture standing on his porch of his home, and he took a picture of a shark swimming in his front yard.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's a freaking shark in his front yard. Yeah. Yeah. It's just absolutely devastating what has happened. And I don't think we're going anywhere.
I don't think so either. I think that some other stuff.
I don't think we're going anywhere.
If you see the ratings and they go through the roof, and ABC says, "By the way, goodbye," someone else is going to pick you up. You know that some cable station or something, it'll happen.
Okay. Well, now let me ask you this. But don't air this part, right? Are you going to air this part? Are we live?
Yeah, we're not live. It's recorded. Where do you want me to cut?
Don't. I'm not going to. I'll tell you. Remind me when we're done recording.
Okay, sure. Okay. So this is what's so fun about interviewing celebrities, that we have those little. Here's a story, John. I had someone on the writer from Alien, and I'm starting to talk to him, and he almost spilled his guts about his next 2 projects. So it does happen when you interview people. They just I'm kind of conversational person. And you're like, hey, this just feels like you're talking.
It's just like an stream of consciousness, and I just slip. So I just finished a wonderful film called The Contractor with Danny Trujillo. That's going to be on Lifetime. That was fun to do. But yeah, so I'm just staying busy,
Well, with your name now, it must be easier to go into Hollywood and audition for things because of what's in your resume. I think that always.
Yeah. It's always tough, but. You get in the door easier, that's for sure. People take your phone calls.
Yeah, you know the right person to call next and things like that. I mean, I'm learning this from just dealing with just interviewing celebrities in Hollywood and just how it works. And man, there's a job, you have it for a few years, and you're going to be out trying to work again.
And that's the thing. This business is crazy. When I was in my 20s, I was on a soap opera. Another World, on NBC. And I was on that for years, and NBC canceled that soap. And I thought, okay, this is it, man. I'm going to be the next De Niro. Yeah. 6 months later, I was a fry cook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, you never can tell what's going to happen in this business. Because it's a tough one, but it's a great one. What did the Peace Corps say? It's the toughest job you'll ever love.
So, if you were going to list on your resume, what would you list after Extreme Makeover Home Edition? What would be your next big break in acting? Would you say that would say this is something where people remember me?
Wow.
Isn't that a good question?
Yeah, that's a great question, buddy. And it's I would have to be very personal. It's a film that Anthony Hopkins, Tony to his friend, Tony and Christian Slater and I did, called Slipstream, and it's a very bizarre film if you don't know Tony. Basically, when I saw it at Sundance, he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Tony, I love it." And he goes, "But because there's these strange flashbacks." He plays a writer, a screenwriter. And there's these strange flashbacks of Picasso and Hitler and Nixon and all these bizarre flashbacks. But if you know him and you know his tremendous body of work, I said, "Tony, all the flashbacks are characters you've played in your life. So this movie is really like a living epitaph of your life.
Yeah.
This is your headstone. And he gave me a gigantic hug, and he grabbed me, and he's the son of a Welsh shipbuilder, so he's got these hands that like are a big bunch of bananas. And he grabs you. And I'm a big guy, and he takes his hands and he wraps them around, envelops my face, and he says, "Kiddo, you're the only one who got it."
So that's great.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm very blessed to have been able to hear the word action, and I get to look Anthony Hopkins in the eyes in front of a camera and act with him. I'm very, 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 very fortunate and very lucky. I have many memories that can never be taken away. I've been very blessed with a very wonderful career.
Well, John, it's been amazing talking with you. And when I first got the text message from your publicist, I'm like, oh, okay. All right, yeah, that's great. And then not knowing you were an actor too, isn't that amazing? And then I'm waiting for the confirmation. You know, I'm doing dishes at home and just saying, okay. I've had some pretty interesting interviews this week. Cool Rock from the Fat Boys I had on. I had Body by Jake on the show this week. I'll have to send you the entire resume, but you're definitely on the resume now, and it's so much fun. I love interviewing people.
Man, thank you.
So where can we find information on you? I know we're promoting Extreme Makeover Home Edition, but also where else can we find info on you, John?
You can follow me on Twitter at Johnny_EMHE. At Johnny_EMHE, which is Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I am, and you can go to my website, johnlittlefield.net, and johnlittlefield.net, and you can friend me on Facebook, or befriend me on Facebook. I don't know. So we live in a wonderful world where we can, and it's funny because, when I first started as an actor, I had to go to the library to develop characters. I had to go look up encyclopedias to see pictures of the person I'm portraying. I had to listen to music and microfiche of the period and the time. Now it's so much easier to research a character. I can do it in my bedroom on my laptop. It's so amazing. We live in. If anybody out there is wanting to learn or to study acting or get into this business, man, you got it easy, kid, because we had to go to the library.
Well, thanks again for calling, John, and we'll stay off. I want to talk to you off air about something real quick, but it was a pleasure talking to you and learning about what you're doing. And again, everyone needs to check out Extreme Makeover Home Edition on Sunday night this week. At what time again?
We're on Mondays and Sundays now for the specials. Yeah,
Monday. Okay.
Yeah. Well, just go to agency.com and check your local list.
All right. Thanks again for calling, John.
Yeah.
Take care.
Hey, thank you so much, and thank all of you for all of your wonderful support throughout the years on the show. We couldn't have done it without you guys. It's truly a wonderful community that we've created. So thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks again for calling. Take care.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye-bye. You're listening to Total Education Celebrity Show. We'll be back in just a moment.